Okay. We're on there, so if some questions start rolling in, I'll let you I'll moderate, I guess. And yeah, no, just chat about hunting since pretty good time. Hey, Wayne, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Not busy over there, are you?
Not at all. Taking lunch all day.
What time did you get the shot this morning?
5:30.
Yeah.
Got a few strings to do. Got a few arrows to build. You know, we've been busy for 4 months. I mean, 4 or 5 months. We've been just insane. It's been our best year. It's incredible. Oh, no lack of things to do.
Ready to be rim through?
And today is no different. How long did you guys shoot?
Are you receiving questions right now?
It looks like there's some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's like the live chat isn't working right or something.
Sweet, you gotta love technology, right?
Yeah.
It's no different. Let's pull it out and try it again.
Are you receiving questions right now?
Not yet. I see one from our guy Chuck. Just said good luck or good to see you guys.
Perfect. You're set. Thank you. See you later, Gabe.
Yeah. This is the. That's
All right. Yeah, you can ask each other questions if you want. Right now.
Are we live? Is this go time?
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, it's live. We're on.
Right on. All right. Well, I guess I have a question for my dad. Like, if you could just explain what Oregon's facing here for 2021, just in a very brief nutshell, what the proposal is, and maybe this will be educating for some people.
Well, in a nutshell, you know, we've had a lot of general season hunts in Oregon for archery for a long time, you know, and enjoyed it for, oh my gosh, over 30 years. And so, you know, right now we're facing, you know, controlled hunt, you know, status, you know, throughout the whole eastern side of the state. And so all the sporting groups came out against it. You know, of course, we had a good united front. You know, it's been kind of puzzling why we're actually in that.
Is you'll be able to buy raffle tickets online, and then I'll be in contact with you.
I'm hearing something.
There's some feedback. I don't know.
Raffle tickets online, something like that.
Somebody got the video rolling.
Oh, gotcha. No, but anyway, that's what we're facing in Oregon, you know, and of course it would be a reduction opportunity. And if you're an out-of-state guy, I mean, you're going to see, you know, all your out-of-state tags go to 5%. So, you know, for out-of-state hunters, it'd be a really big bummer, you know, so, you know, and then of course, you know, it's just, you know, once the squeeze starts, you know, then, you know, oh, we got too many wolves, you know, so hunters taking the shorts. Oh, we got too many cats, you know, we're going to, you know, so all the way along the line, I mean, you know, hunters are going to be the ones that lose, and we support the system. You know, it's like, and we have a lot of tools in the toolbox for Oregon. You know, we have administrative removal we can do, you know, to add more opportunity, you know, better game populations, all that kind of stuff. You know, all that can come into play, and we can use that rather than, you know, reduce hunting opportunity. You know, we'd like to see that. So anyway, that's just a nutshell what we're facing in Oregon, which, you know, it can be a big deal, especially when it comes to befire danger. I mean, if we would have been in a controlled status situation the last, even, you know, 2015 through 2018, you know, we would have, you wouldn't have hunted Eastern Oregon if this would have been in place, you know, because, you know, Coast Range was on fire, Cascades were on fire. If you didn't have the capability to go to Eastern Oregon those years, you wouldn't even have bow hunted, you know. And then the other thing is like over the years, I probably would have been 10 years I wouldn't have bow hunted, where any particular unit you had to move to another one because of wildfire, you know. And we've had a lot of fires in Oregon, you know, over the last 25, 30 years. And, you know, so it just would really reduce the opportunity because of high fire danger. So those are the two biggies that, you know, we would face in Oregon if this went to a controlled draw status. So we're really adamantly opposed to it. All the supporting groups are, OHA, OBH, Oregon Outdoor Council. We all came out, you know, real in united front. So we're just hoping that the system works. We're hoping that, oh, gosh, you got dogs barking.
Yeah, let me shut my door. We got some questions coming in though. kids, dogs, customers. All right. We've got Wayne and Nathan, great bucks. Did your buddies fill their tags too?
There's a father and son, Nick and Heath. So Heath was able to fill all 3 of his deer tags, and he killed some great bucks. All of them are really mature bucks. He had a great hunt. I was there for the last one, and then he was hunting with his dad on the first 2. But then Nick he had torn a meniscus, so he was kind of struggling to make it to the elevation where some of these deer were at. So my dad took him on the last 2 days, and he got some good opportunities, just couldn't seal the deal. But Nick's going to go back with my dad this year to hopefully, and then feeling healthy.
He had surgery. Surgery on the knee. He tore it up so bad right before we left,
like a couple weeks.
Yeah. And I was just like, he wanted to go with his son, and it's pretty intense, but man, he was hurt, it's pretty intense hunt, especially when it comes to packing out your bucks and everything. And, Nick he was seriously hurt. So yeah, so he'll return this year.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Did you guys end up filling that 3rd bull tag? I recalling.
Yeah.
We'll let Greg answer that.
I got dubbed about last day Louis is kind of my mode of operation. So I did. It was about the 3rd day towards the end of the season. I got a solo. I called him in myself and took that bull that was on the video there towards the end. 5 point. So it was a good pass. It was a good pass opportunity. It would have been epic to put 3 down right there, but it was good. Good pass.
Yeah. I wish you would have put 3 down.
We tried.
Yeah, they tried. Yeah, on me.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Heck yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we got a question. Does Greg regret not shooting the 3rd bull?
I figured I was gonna get it. No, I mean, in the moment, I'm sitting there with the camera on, I'm checked out. I'm not even in hunt mode at all, and watching all of this happen, it was so exciting. And my bow was buckled and strapped down on my pack. I was not even thinking about it. And when we pulled him down, Cheyenne's just getting on me, going, "It's a 6 point. If it's a 6 point, you gotta shoot." And I was trying to get my bow undone, and it was getting really crazy. And when we saw it, it was just part of it. It was fun, but I don't regret. I don't regret it at all. It was super hot, and we're on the south face, and it's about getting these things broken down and get them out of there. 3 bolts. That would have been a ton of work.
Yeah.
Cool experience.
We didn't know where my bullet went yet, so we hadn't even gone down that road yet. So
cool. We got a hello from Australia.
oh.
Let's see. We got maybe a question for Wayne. What are your thoughts on antler point restrictions? They're proposing 4-point minimum in Northeast Washington again.
So this is a problem with antler restriction. It's been proven over and over it doesn't work. I mean, if you make the animal that you want, to propagate, if you make that the target animal, okay, that just never works. I mean, and it's been tried over and over and over. I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, the Steens Mountains went to 4-point or better, and we're pretty efficient, at killing most of the adult deer if that's what you're forced to do, So if back then I think that they had 1,800 or, something like that. They had a lot of tags in the Steens when I was a kid, or there was that many people that were in there hunting, and basically to kill all the adult deer every year, to where if you allow just, visible antler, a lot of guys are just fine with killing, whatever's out there, and it allows escapement on adult animals. And, I look at the Coast Range and, we have a lot of units up and down the coast. Well, where all the Pope and Young bulls are killed is not in our one antler restricted area, which is Tioga. In fact, the least amount of Pope and Young or Boonacroca bulls ever have come out of there. And the reason why is, we're just, really efficient at killing all the adult animals, if that's what you're forced to do. So antler restriction is just from what I've seen, from outside looking in, just, from observation and looking at the books and everything, I just don't think, I think it's proven not to work.
Yeah, for sure. Got some more. How many bucks have the Endicott family taken out of Kodiak?
Well,
Here's your 8th buck was your last one, and I've gotten 5. So there we go, 13.
13. And on top of that, you just see numbers there, but the food value, those deer are so obese. I mean, when you skin that deer out, I mean, you're like, is this a bear? I mean, it's unbelievable how much fat they have on them, because I mean,
Really?
when you're on an island that literally has, they got brown bears for predators, but the brown bears aren't interested in them, right? And you got a fox, you got red fox. So these deer don't do anything. I mean, they eat all the time, and they're like the least bit interested in even using any caloric output besides eating. And they have blueberries, they have cranberries, they've got.
I bet they taste amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
they
tastes
are
great.
unbelievable table fare. It's like the best. It didn't even taste like our lower Oregon deer here. It doesn't even taste like that. They don't even taste the same. It's a crazy rich, flavor that they have. So I mean, $3. I mean, you're really excited about the table fare that you're getting out of that hunt.
Yeah.
That's
Big
awesome.
shout out to the Borex staff for making plenty of noise in the background.
Yeah, did they cue the noise makers?
Taping boxes while we speak. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. What month was that Kodiak hunt?
So, we go, October 29th is usually when we land in Kodiak, and weather permitting, we try to get out around the 1st of November. And, if you've ever been in Kodiak Airport, I mean, it's pretty much a camo convention. I mean, you've never been anywhere where you see, 150, hunters all landing at the same time, all wearing various kinds of camo. So
We've been dropped on the 29th. So like you killed 2 on your birthday. Like October 30th, Dad's killed 2 of his bucks with me on 2 of the trips. So
this last trip, we got there on the 29th and flew in on the 30th. We had good weather.
yeah.
Yeah. Weather's probably hit or miss, and
Weather can kill you. I mean, that's one thing about Alaska. I mean, the weather can just totally kill you. The first trip up with Nate Simmons and Steve Howard, and Nate and I,
It's cold.
it was cold, but we had storm. We had a
had
windstorm that came through and snapped holes in one of our tents, just like toothpicks. I mean,
The river rose like 4 to 5 feet overnight, and I was within inches of our tent, but we were kind of like right above floodplain, so it would have had to flood a valley to get our tent. But still, I mean, overnight the river rose that much. I've just never seen it in my life, and we had to assemble a boat, an extra Zodiac, because we were short a boat to be able to get all of our stuff downriver. So they dropped a boat, we assembled it, and then buzzed down the river in this monsoon storm, and that's the night that it rose like 4 to 5 feet. It was nuts. And
yeah, when it rains
so-
with that kind of wind, I mean, you can have your hood all tucked down and everything, but it's like somebody's got a garden hose in your face, and the the wind and the rain, it goes around the back of your head and then it goes right down the middle of your back. It's pretty wild when you're
Hard to
in
stay
actually
dry.
those kind of conditions.
It's so humid that you have all your stuff in your tent, you're trying to dry it out, and it's just nothing dries out. And our Arctic oven, we forgot our stove for the Arctic oven this year, so that was a little bit of a bummer. We had everything for it except for the stove, which is a critical component.
what kind of is it a wood burning stove or just a?
No propane. There's not much wood up there. And if
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There's wet. Everything's wet out there.
Gotcha.
We were wet.
All right. Does Higher Calling have some more films in the bag or working on more?
Dan, you want to answer that?
We actually have some bear hunts that are sort of in the works. We harvested a couple bears this year. Mine sort of didn't work out so well. The battery on the camera died right as he hit record, and got a film on a phone, and that's about it. But we do have a couple of projects working on. Hoping this year we're actually going to be all hunting off CT90, CT110s on the backcountry, chasing some 6-point bulls. So that's the goal there. But yeah, we have some. I think we have some turkey films. I think the hard part is getting editing done. We get out there, we hunt, and man, it just takes a long time because we're all working full-time jobs, and it takes a long time to edit. So we have actually a lot of footage, just not out there yet. So
Yeah, so we have a white-tailed buck on film. We have a multiple bears on film shot, and another elk at least on film shot. No But we do have a YouTube channel, so we have a couple other films on there. Go check those out, and then we'll be posting more. So.
All right, sweet. Let's see. What's your guys' favorite animals to hunt? From Lisa.
That's my wife. Shout out to my wife. She knows is elk. Yeah, Rocky Mountain elk, without a doubt. Yeah. Everything else spins around that.
How about the Endicott boys?
That's a hard toss, you know. It's all kinds of different hunting, you know, but I'm pretty drawn to our blacktail, you know, of course, you know. Elk gets under your skin. Elk's kind of like a fast food hunt, you know. It's running and gunning, and you know, it's just a lot more moving of, you know, terrain and how many miles you can do in a day. You know, you just got to find the animals. Where deer hunting is so much more calculated. You know, it's so much more slow down, and we spot and stalk. I mean, we don't really, you know, sit tree stands so much. You know, even in Oregon, you know, when we hunt with blacktail, you know, and it's just mostly spot and stalk. So it's just two totally different flavors of hunting. You know, usually elk is just always strictly backcountry and bivouacking and that kind of thing, you know, where, you know, elk or blacktail is, you know, sometimes we bivouac for blacktail in the high country, but, you know, most of the time it's just a long day. So
yeah, I'll echo that. My favorite is our Cascade blacktail deer. I spent a lot of time doing that. It's one of our favorite hunts to do is in our Cascade range. And we've seen some bomber blacktail. On the video, it shows my dad's buck, and that scored 154. Is that what it went? Gross 154. Massive blacktail. I mean, and it carries its mass through every time. You don't see bucks like that, but once in your lifetime. I've certainly not seen one quite that big in our area. I've gotten one buck that was pretty decent. It was also on the film. So it's just still hunting through giant old growth timber and just being out there all day. You know, getting completely tested from mentally to physically, snow falling out of trees. I mean, that can be a brutal hunt really quick, especially if you get a buck 3 or 4 miles back in an area and it's really steep and rugged country. You got to keep your wits about you, so you're getting challenged too from that perspective. Make smart choices, so you really feel that survival instinct. I alluded to that on Kodiak. I mean, that's a dream hunt. Kodiak, you got to do it. But yeah, blacktail deer.
Cool. Did you guys have any bad encounters with bears at Kodiak yet?
You know, this year, Nick and Heath, they were still bleeding to a buck on a hillside, and they heard something. They turned around, and there's a bear standing right behind them,
20 yards.
20 yards, and they stood up and, you know, of course, you know, started preparing themselves, and the bear saw them and took off running and, you know, ran. They watched it run, you know, probably over a mile and up over a 500-foot saddle and just kept going. So that's the right reaction. You know, we've been pretty fortunate. You know, we haven't, you know.
We saw 13 on that third night in one little valley. Mm-hmm. And the closest was one of them on our film. It was 150 yards away. And he was just doing his thing, walking through a stream. That's really what they're doing that time of year, is walking these small little side channels that have fish. That fish are still in those side channels. They're catching them. But I mean, they look like a bus moving on a flat desert plain. It's pretty nuts to see them out there. You respect the distance, you know?
Yeah, you see there's something that looks like a minivan that's got, you know, 4 legs and a head. It's just crazy how big some of them are.
Yeah, they're big.
You know, but we've had good luck. I mean, they really aggressively hunt them up there. You know, there's bear guides work in those areas where we're deer hunting. And, you know, the hunting pressure, I mean, those bear get pretty respectful. I mean, you know, we had one walk up that we saw evidence in the tracks in the mud by, you know, probably within, you know, 70, 80 yards of our tent, and turned around and left. So that's always a good, you know, we got electric fences. I mean, you got to take your precautions. We have sidearms, you know, you can't go up there and, you know, hunt foolishly, you know, but, you know, we haven't had any, you know, bad experience. And they're all in the headwaters of those creeks where, you know, we're up on the hillsides, you know, and so we're two different, but, you know, one thing for sure, I mean, you're butchering animals, you're looking over your shoulder. I mean, it's a cautious type deal. I mean, it's always keeps you awake. I mean, you know, and those bear, they're not like on a short bus. They're pretty intelligent animal. I mean, if they really wanted you, they know how to stalk you and you know, really, you know, put in the effort to try to, you know, if they really wanted you, they're not They're not black bear. They don't just show themselves and come right at you. So it's a little bit different, you know, in the back of your mind when you're hunting up there. It's a little bit different challenge. Makes the hunt exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Any night packs would kind of.
Oh,
Yeah, we try to get back to camp by dark, but we had 2 of our packs were hours after dark. We got back at like 11 p.m. and it gets dark at 5:30 or 6.
yeah. Steve Howard and I had the all-time furthest pack. We killed 2 bucks in a day, and we were way back in, just trying to get back in, see some country we hadn't seen before. And there was a sow with 4 cubs in there. We seen her sign all over, and we'd seen her there the day before. And that required a lot of lights every direction. I mean, you've got a headlamp and you've got a handheld light, you know, and you're looking around. I mean, it keeps you on your toes, you know. But no, I mean, you know, we haven't had any issues at all, really.
Good. All right. Could do a higher calling. What do you find the most challenging species to hunt? That was from the Gray Ghost.
Actually, for me, turkey. I seem like I always miss turkeys. I don't know what it is. Turkeys are like my nemesis. I've lost more arrows and spent more money on shooting at turkeys than any other animal. So I'm not sure why. It's not that I don't see them or have the opportunities. I miss. I don't know why. So I've only killed one with my bow. Killed many with a shotgun, but
You missed one this year? I'm just wondering.
no, I didn't kill one this year.
Did you miss
No.
one? I think you missed one, right? Yeah. Opening day.
Did I?
Yeah.
Maybe I just put it out of my mind.
You got that on video too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, let's just probably not going to see that one online. So
Yeah.
I think that elk is just it's a tough animal to hunt because they move so much. The Rocky Mountain elk, you know, what takes us 2 hours to climb a mountain, they go down in 10 minutes, get a drink, and go back up, and you're chasing them over in steep country. And here in the Panhandle, Idaho, it's brushy, and you know, it's like looking at my arms from scouting this last weekend. It looks like I went through blackberries, you know, and it just scratched up, and your bow gets beat up, and it's just, yeah, it's not for the timid, but a lot of fun.
Cool. I'm just gonna ask a question for all you guys. You can take turns, but any pointers about people wanting to start filming or that kind of a process?
Pass first.
well, we're pretty new to it, so we've made a lot of mistakes. And understanding, I guess, in the beginning, you're just going to make a lot of mistakes. Forget to record sometimes. I think the guy was talking yesterday about how you're actually watching the scene unfold with your eyes and you forget to look through the camera sometimes. I think making sure your batteries are charged are probably an important thing. We've had a few issues with that. I think this year we've been telling ourselves you got to have somebody always with the camera on, even if there's 2 of us. Usually been saving filming for when all 3 of us are go, but we decided this year it's time to make sure we have a camera on at all times. But I don't know, we're rookies at this. We're just I don't know if I have any good pointers.
I can take this one now. So ever since I was a young kid, my dad was videoing, if it was hunting or a sports event or whatever, my dad was there with video camera. And then once he got a new video camera, he'd pass down his video camera to me. And it just became a thing that we videoed our hunts, we videoed what we did, and we'd enjoy it later as a family watching it. So I feel like it was kind of a culture that my dad started. And even before him, my grandpa took incredible photos of the wilderness packs that they did. And that's like some of my most cherished pictures I can look at is what did Grandpa do? Where did he go? And then ask my dad, hey, where was this at? So I think that was something that was important, was that you have like a vision for why you film, and it's to share that experience, share that memory. And that's kind of what I'm all about, especially with my family. And that's why I even started YouTube, is that my family can enjoy it. mostly in years to come. So then with Kodiak, with respect to this hunt, my dad and I, we've been, mostly my dad, planning this hunt for years. And Roy Roth, kind of a legend in Alaska, they had defined what this hunt would look like, when and where, and all these details. And I was just kind of along for the ride. And then tragically, he wasn't able to be there, but we were still able to make the hunt. And so we kind of had this vision of what we wanted to do there, and we videoed. And then afterwards, looking back, like, wow, this could be really a very cool film. And so going into the second trip, the return to Kodiak, we prepared. So you would need your camera equipment. So we talked about which cameras we'd take, GoPro. And we're not good at filming. That's the catch to it all, is we're terrible at filming. But if you get enough video, you can tell a story, and you can put that film to your story, and then pretty soon you have a hunting film. So that's what we did here, and it was probably pretty easy to tell from our film. But there's a lot behind it. There's a lot of work and effort and planning, and then other people that you appreciate along the way that help you get there and help you succeed. And then you put all your skills together, and boom, you have a good hunting film. So that's my take on it. Dad will probably have more.
Well, Western Hunter, Nate Simmons, when we were up there in 15, we just lost Roy, and Roy was supposed to be on that hunt, and I just at the last minute, I went to Roy's service, and there was a lot of people involved in making that first hunt, happen. Everybody, Frank Sanders and Bob Amin and Jonas Stewart, and Jeremy Hoagland. I mean, they were all friends of Roy's, and they just loaned us everything, told us where to go, helped us out, gave us a map. I mean, they really made that hunt happen, and of course we were kind of all, we were full heartbroken, because we'd lost Roy, so we were just kind of retracing his steps, and it was just an epic hunt. And we had great weather. We had bad weather, but then we had great weather for that hunt. So filming was good. This last year, oh my gosh. I mean, the very first day we flew in, the weather was halfway decent. After that, it poured down rain every single day that we were there, hard rain with wind, and you can kind of see it from the film. And so, Nate was a little reluctant a couple times to even pull his camera out and try to film, and I was just getting my camera wet. But I mean, we were risking damaging all our equipment, and it wasn't even close to being any kind of ideal conditions for filming. And we're terrible at filming anyway. I mean, I'm a better photographer. I can take decent photos, but when it comes to filming, I just never claimed to be anything at all. Yeah. But it tells a story, right? And I always admire you guys are more. We just kind of talked about telling the story, but I've always admired everybody that tries to entertain with hunting, because hunting's always been my entertainment. So I respect everybody that tries. It's a lot of work, and it kind of drags things down a little bit, and can kind of take your wind out of your sails sometimes. Trying to get film, and everything rather than just hunt. I mean, there's a lot of times when my buddies and I would be out somewhere. It's like, dude, let's just hunt, heck with the camera, we're hunting today, and, right. Yeah. So, everybody kind of identifies with that, but, filming's hard work, you gotta really make sure everything's set up correctly. And, I don't know how much I've ever bought into that. So, ours is just kind of telling the story, because we're terrible cameramen. If you could ever just have a guy that was, good, that just trailed you around, they could probably tell a great story. Right. But we don't have that guy. It's just us. Yep.
Guys, the key is just to record lots of content and try to capture as much of the hunt as possible, because you never know when something awesome is going to happen. And when you don't have the camera rolling is when something awesome happens. I mean, I can just, not being able to share those. I mean, I think that's been the most fun about all of this, is being able to like rewatch our hunts and like, oh, like I don't remember it like that, but that's how it happened, and it's a lot of fun to share the content in video.
Awesome. Okay, we'll do maybe one more question for everyone here. We can do this or two more. This will be a quick one, a bucket list hunt for everybody.
Choose wisely.
Actually, I've always wanted to go take an Alaskan brown bear with my longbow. That's always been sort of a dream of mine. So, bucket list someday when I'm like 70 or something, I'll be able to do that. But I've always that's just one of my things that my longbow take a Alaskan brown bear. So.
Cool.
I think for me, probably definitely an Alaska hunt. And for the living animals, I mean, I think that'd be pretty cool. That would be my bucket list.
Yeah, I would love to draw any sort of world class limited entry elk hunt. That would be definitely bucket list for me. Where the little bulls are big.
My bucket list hunt is coming true. I drew a coveted Oregon archery tag. It's called, the unit's the Winaha, and it takes 20 plus years for a guy to draw. So I drew that this year. I've been over there several times now, put in a lot of miles. My unit map on my GPS is turning into a blackout of flags and little notes and breadcrumbs and like, and so I can't wait for that hunt. My dad's going to be with me for the first 4 days. And after that, I'll be by myself. He might come back for 2 more days over the holiday and then by myself. So I plan to just film as much as I can, have fun. Been waiting a while. My grandpa actually packed into this wilderness in the 1950s, and then dad killed his first bull there. So it's just, there's a lot of meaning to that hunt beyond just what it takes to draw it, a number of years. And so with all that history, it's going to be valuable. I can't wait. So I'm just happy to say I get to live that here in a month. In a month, I'll be packing in. So yeah.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Bucket list hunt. So I tried to draw those Florida mountains in New Mexico for ibex. I've tried to draw it a couple times, and that would be a bucket list. I've even thought, it's just out of my range to, go, to Europe and try to kill one of those ibex, but it's just so difficult. I mean, I've watched a few videos on YouTube of those guys hunting those with a bow. That is a hard hunt, and it just looks so cool. And I thought, man, I could do it differently. I'd just go up there and just bivouac, just sleep on the rocks, sleep with those things. And because they see you coming every day. I've watched too many videos. They're too smart. I mean, they can see like crazy good eyesight. And, the success rate there with a bow on a good one is very, very low. So that's definitely a bucket list hunt. I'm going to probably continue to try to draw that in the future and hopefully draw.
Yeah. I filmed Trevin Stolzfus on his first trip down there.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I watched that.
Yeah, that's the hardest hunt I've ever been on. It's like they have the eyes of like an eagle, and then they roost on the top of the rocks like a turkey. And
there was definitely some emotion in that hunt. I saw that. Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah, there isn't too many of those that I haven't watched that guys have drawn down there and hunted and put it on YouTube. So definitely interesting. Be a bucket.
Cool. We'll do let's see. This might be for higher calling. Do you guys do any camping on your hunts, or just day trip it?
We do a little bit of both. I think that we're kind of blessed because from right here where we're doing the Zoom call, it's like 45 minutes to elk country. And so it's pretty easy for us to do day hunts. But at the same time, it's easy for everyone else too. All the other hunters do day hunts. And so we have places that we go in for 4 or 5 days at a time, camp on our back, set up shop, and chase the bulls back there. We're a lot farther from people that way. So yeah, we do a blend of both. It just depends on work schedule and who's where and what we can do.
Cool. I think that's probably about good for time. We could do some closing comments from everybody, and appreciate you jumping on here and help partaking in the tour this year. Glad to have both films. They're awesome. Wish we could have shown it in the theaters and venues. Would have been awesome, but such is 2020, I guess.
Interesting times, that's for sure. Well, okay, for Endicott Films, you could find us on Instagram. There's a couple. Mine's Nathan For You. My dad's is Wayne Endicott. And then what's the last? couple numbers. Wayne Endicott, and then
I don't
you
know.
find him. It's probably one or
I
two.
like the worst on social media.
Yeah, he is. And then the Bow Rack is the third way to follow us in some way. And then on YouTube, we have a channel. It's Nathan Endicott Films. So you could find me there to be able to watch some films. I don't have a ton. I'm kind of just getting going with it, but it's something that I look forward to doing more in the future. Any other closing comments?
I'm just thankful that we're involved this year, and excited to.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
on.
excited that you put it on there. We are actually able to share. I mean, Kodiak's an epic hunt. If you can ever do it, it's just an unbelievable experience. I mean, like I said, I've had a lot of good mentors in hunting, and Jim Hodson, he was a mentor, big time mentor to me when I was just a kid. And he gave me all kinds of locations, and he was a dentist that lived in Redmond, and he hunted all over, and he would just give certain areas, and he's like, in your lifetime, you need to go here as often as you can. And that was definitely Kodiak. He told me, this has been quite a few years back, he had been to Kodiak 55 times, and had slideshows that would just knock your eyes out. And so I'm going to try to go in my lifetime. I'm going to try to get up there as often as I can. It's an affordable hunt. I mean, as far as, Alaska goes, it's one of your more affordable hunts. And you can, once you figure out, basically the structure, you can do it yourself.
The tag cost did double last year.
That's
so
the
I mean,
painful part.
Yeah. So 3 deer is not that affordable, to be honest. It's like $350 a tag. So you get pretty expensive by your third tag, but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
If you go, you have to have 3 deer tags, and do not do the reindeer tag. That's not worth it. I've tried. Steve Howard and I can vouch. Do not get the reindeer tag if you're trying with the bow. Not worth it. There was this one that was kind of limping, and we're like, we're going to target that one. We start crawling across muskeg, and I mean, it's like a waterbed. Picture you're crawling across a waterbed that you randomly will fall in deep, and then this reindeer's got you coming, and he's on this like flat, ultra flat plane, and this one was like running with 3 legs and outsmarted us, and we never even came close. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, they're not caribou.
Yeah, they're not caribou. All right, I'll mute us.
Yeah, we're actually just pretty thankful just to be on the Full Draw Film Tour this year. When you asked what bucket list animal we would like to shoot, this actually was a bucket list for me. I brought asked Kevin and Greg to start filming with us because I really wanted to be on the Full Draw Film Tour, and so we're just thankful to be a part of this and excited for what God has for our team in the next coming years. And so I'm not sure if Kevin and Greg have something to say on that, but I'm just thankful to be here and be a part of what you guys are doing here. So.
Well, thank you.
You can find us on Instagram, Higher Calling Adventures, and also on Facebook. And then our YouTube channel is also Higher Calling Adventures as well. Pretty easy to find. So. No numbers at the end.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for being a part of it. And we'll stay in touch. But yeah, have a good one. Good luck this fall.
Good luck this season.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, take care.